Living in Manila is expensive. Everywhere you look, may shopping malls, restaurants, cafes. Parang the whole system is designed to make you spend more. And as a balikbayan, I must admit that I also fell into that trap kasi yung first few months ko dito sa Manila, I was also spending more to feel better. Telling myself na deserve ko to kasi deprived ako sa abroad for how many years. Nung nasa Malta kasi ako, wala masyadong shopping malls, tas ang mahal ng delivery fee. So hindi talaga ako masyadong nagsha-shopping. Kaya pagbalik ko dito, feeling ko chance ko na to. In fact, the following day, yun kagad yung ginawa ko. Nagpahinga lang ako nung unang araw ko dito sa Maynila tapos kinabukasan shopping agad. Ayoko na lang i-compute kung magkano yung nagastos ko nung araw na yon. Pero looking back, sana pinag-isipan ko munang mabuti bago ako nagpunta sa shopping mall at ginastos yung pera na yon. What's worse is hindi lang siya isang beses nangyari, nasundan pa yung mga shopping days na yon. But after a while, I realized that if I keep doing that, mauubos agad yung pinaghirapan ko sa abroad in just a few months. Good thing I caught myself before it got worse. And that's why today, I want to share with you what I have learned and how I transitioned to living a frugal life here in Manila. Before we dive deeper into this topic, let's first define what frugal living really means. Frugal living simply means being intentional with your money. Sa Tagalog, pagiging matipid or you cut down on expenses na hindi talaga importante sa'yo so you can spend more on things that truly matter. This is very different po from being cheap or kuripot. Kasi kapag kuripot naman, yung ayaw mo gumastos kahit nakailangan na. For example, isang linggo ka na may sakit pero ayaw mo magpa-check up kahit may pera ka kasi nagtitipid ka. Or you went out with your friends tapos nung ambagan na ayaw mo mag-chip in. Ang frugal living naman is all about balance. Ayaw mo gumastos dun sa mga bagay na hindi naman nag-a-add ng value sa buhay mo. Pero you're willing to spend on things that really matter to you. For example, family, health, experiences. Now, let's go back to our main topic. So, ano ba yung mga ginawa ko to transition into a frugal life here in Manila? First things first, mindset shift. As I mentioned earlier, living in Manila is expensive. And the city will always find a way to tempt you to spend. Kung hindi effective sa'yo ang shopping malls at billboard, andyan ang mga social media ads. So, everywhere you look, meron ka talagang dahilan para gumastos. If you don't set the rules on how to spend your money, the city will set them for you. And the worst part, usually, ibig sabihin nun, you will spend more. Sometimes even more than what you actually earn. Kaya bago pa man ako kainin ng sistema, I made the conscious decision to live frugally. Number 2, home. Ano ba yung mga ginawa ko dito sa bahay that helped me transition into frugal living? When we first moved into this apartment, it felt so bare kasi semi-furnished lang siya. So yung mga basic essentials lang talaga yung kasama at mabibilang mo lang sa daliri mo. So meron lang siyang cabinet, bed frame, mattress, sofa, dining set, fridge, at washing machine. Yun lang. So, nung una, ang plano ko talaga is i-decorate siya kasi yun yung nakikita ko online. Nag-shopping haul sila sa IKEA or online shopping app and then i-decorate nila yung unit. So, nung una, very inspiring. Tapos may mga sinave pa ako na video sa phone ko para maging reference. Medyo naging busy kami nung first few months namin dito sa bahay. So, hindi na namin siya naasikaso. After a few months of living here, as you can see, it's still the same. Meron lang kami ng mga basic essentials to survive our day-to-day life here in Manila. And hindi na namin dinagdagan yung kahit anong decoration. Actually, kapag nagpo-post ako minsan sa TikTok, may mga nagtatanong sa akin kung minimalist daw ba ako kasi very bare nga yung apartment. Pero the truth is, hindi ako minimalist. I don't think I can claim that lifestyle kasi yung cabinet ko, meron pa rin mga damit na hindi ko ginagamit. Pero habang tumatagal, I realized na comfort doesn't always come from extra furniture or design. It comes from how you use the space and how it fits your lifestyle. So I have nothing against those people na nag-haul para sa decorations ng bahay or organizers. It's all up to you how you want to spend your money. And honestly, the longer we stayed here, mas na-appreciate ko that we have less kasi at least hindi ako nahihirapan maglinis ng bahay. Mas konti ang linisin ko, mas konti ang kailangan kong ayusin, and mas marami akong time na gawin talaga yung gusto kong gawin. So I don't have to worry about spending hours na maglinis ng bahay or mag-decorate ng bahay. So I can use that time doing something that I really like this. Next is social media. Ito yung pinaka-tricky kasi I'm always on my phone and that's the easiest way for the triggers to reach me. And I'm sure marami rin sa inyo na ganon. Habang nagdo-doom scroll tayo, dun tayo natitrigger na bumili ng mga bagay na hindi naman talaga natin kailangan. One of the things that I did para hindi na ako mag-overspend sa social media is to unfollow accounts that trigger me to spend. For example, yung mga videos na nag-organize ng mga gamit, tapos feeling mo pwede rin yun sa bahay mo. Natitrigger talaga ako minsan na bumili dahil sa mga yon. So I had to unfollow their accounts. Na-mention ko na din to before pero I wait 24 hours before checking out anything. So kapag meron akong gustong bilhin sa social media platform or shopping app, ina-add to cart ko sila and then I wait 24 hours bago ko sila i-check out. Kapag 24 hours na, tas na-realize ko na kailangan ko talaga, then bibilin ko. Pero pag na-realize ko na okay lang naman na wala siya, then tinatanggal ko siya sa cart ko para hindi na ako matrigger na bilhin siya. Next is food choices. Sabi nila, diba, tipirin mo na lahat, wag lang pagkain. Pero nung first few months ko kasi dito sa Maynila, Manila, ang laki ng bill ko sa credit card dahil sa pagkain sa labas at pagpapadeliver ng food. So nung kinompute ko siya, hindi siya sustainable, masyado siyang mahal. Kaya I made the conscious decision na mag-meal prep para maiwasan yung gastos namin sa dining out at delivery. So every Sunday or Saturday, ang ginagawa ko, namamalengke kami ng mom ko. Tapos meron talaga akong listahan ng mga ingredients na kailangan ko to meal prep for the week. And then pag uwi ko, start na yun ng meal prep. So, yun yung Sunday reset ko. That way, ready na yung pagkain namin ng buong linggo at hindi kami matetempt na magpa-deliver or kumain sa labas. And I'm telling you, ang laking tulong niya sa maraming bagay. First, naiiwasan namin na kumain ng junk food kasi yung pinaprepare namin na pagkain, alam namin na healthy. Number 2, ang laking tipid sa oras kasi ready na yung pagkain, hindi na ako kailangan magluto araw-araw. And number 3, syempre malaking tulong siya sa budget kasi ang laki ng difference ng magagastos mo kapag lagi kang kumakain sa labas kaysa sa magluluto ka sa bahay. Of course, hindi naman po ibig sabihin nito na hindi na kami kumakain sa labas. Me and my husband still go to date nights or lunch out, but this is scheduled at naka-budget talaga siya para hindi kami nagigilty afterwards kasi alam namin na may naka-allocate talagang budget doon. Next is entertainment. My husband and I enjoy walking in park, exploring public spaces, or just finding new spots in the city that are free or very affordable. Kapag sobrang init naman, nagpupunta pa rin kami sa mga shopping malls, pero we just make sure na hindi kami gagastos kung hindi talaga siya naka-budget. The money that we save on these things goes straight to our travel fund. Kasi ito naman yung aspeto ng buhay namin na gusto talaga naming mag-splurge. So we like traveling. Kaya meron talaga kaming naka-allocate na budget for this on a monthly basis. So instead of random small buys we'll forget about, we'd rather spend our money for an out-of-town trip o kaya naman out of the country. At the end of the day, it's not about depriving ourselves. It's about choosing the kind of enjoyment or fun that really adds value to our lives. Next is balance. I see a lot of videos about people going to the extremes para lang makatipid, like reusing paper towels or hindi gumagamit ng aircon. Sure, nakakatipid naman nga tayo kapag ginagawa natin itong mga bagay na to. Pero at what cost? If frugality makes you uncomfortable to the point na hindi mo na ma-enjoy yung day-to-day life mo, then it's not sustainable. After reading these books, I realized that money is a tool, and tools are meant to be used. Hindi siya tungkol sa pag-hoard ng pera or being afraid to spend your money. It's about making sure that your money goes where it actually improves your life. Kasi kung puro lang tayo ipon at hoard ng pera, you'll eventually burn out and give up. Pero kung may balance, mas madaling i-sustain at i-enjoy ang frugal living. Lastly, communication. If you don't live alone, frugal living works best kapag napag-usapan niyo siya as a family. Kasi kung ikaw, intentional ka pagdating sa spending habits mo, pero yung family mo pala like your husband or your kids feel deprived, it might not work in the long run. Kasi money habits affect everyone in the household. That's why I make it a point to sit down with my husband and talk about what's important pagdating sa budget namin and expenses. I know medyo touchy subject siya para sa iba kasi usually hindi naman natin masyado pinag-uusapan ng pera sa bahay, di ba? Lalo na sa kultura nating Pilipino. And may mga times talaga na kaming mag-asawa, we don't see eye to eye. Hindi kami lagi nag-agree sa mga bagay-bagay, lalo na sa gastusin dito sa bahay. Pero that doesn't mean na kailangan nyo siyang pag-awayan. We compromise. Plus, the intention of frugal living is not just about saving money. It should also be about building harmony in the way you live and spend together. So yes, living in Manila is expensive and the city is designed to make you spend more. Pero kung may tamang habits and mindset, you can live frugally without feeling left out. If you want more tips about how to organize your finances while living in Manila, I actually created a video about it. You can watch it here. That's it for today. I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!